It's 12:30. Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Drake, and welcome to episode number 112 of Discuss It with Drake. That would be your host, me. Today's quick topic is seller disclosures. What does a seller have to reveal? Well, we're going to talk about it in a second. Of course, before we get started, please head on over to YouTube, type in Drake's Real Estate TV, click subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. So let's get started. So if you're making an offer on a house, one of the first documents that you're going to get is your property disclosure. Okay, it's also referred to as a property disclosure statement, a real estate disclosure, and from around here in our area, it's called a TDS, which is the transfer disclosure statement, and that's just one of them. So the specifics obviously vary from state to state, but most states require some sort of seller disclosure. So the goal is to add transparency to the transaction process. So in a disclosure, a seller provides written information about things that they know that could impact the property's value, like termite damage or a leaky roof. And they know about the leaky roof today, right? Disclosure will also include details from the homeowners association if they have one, fees, restrictions, stuff like that. These documents are actually meant to provide the buyers a comprehensive overview of the property before buying it. So on the seller side, the disclosure that has the benefit of helping them avoid a future lawsuit, okay? So definitely don't want that. So here's some of the basics. A seller typically fills out the disclosure with a yes or no on most of the questions about their property. And the form will also have some space for some extra details and explanations. So if you see when this says yes, just look below it and it should have more information about what the yes was for. A lot of it is very, very simple, like, is there a common area? Well, yeah, you share a fence. Or yeah, I'm in a condo, stuff like that. So a real estate agent should fully understand the legal requirements for the disclosures. And if you're a seller, your listing agent is going to provide you with the right documents that you need to fill out. Your agent will help you go through the completed forms if you're the buyer. And just keep in mind, we are not supposed to fill those out for you, okay? Fill them out to the best of your knowledge. That's my advice. Fill them out to the best of your knowledge. So the disclosure isn't a replacement for the home inspection. Please keep that in mind. But it actually might bring to light some of the issues that you might have an inspector look closer at. Sometimes you don't have them before the inspection. So anyways, that's, again, we've talked about that before in a previous episode. Physical inspection, big time importance. Okay, so disclosures only require sellers to share the issues with the house that they're aware of. Okay, so there's still potential for there to be hidden problems. And that's why, we walk through a house and we can see some things, a lot of them are cosmetic. It's the things that we can't see that tend to be a little bit scary and might be costly, because most of us are not going under the house and checking for pipes and foundation cracks and stuff like that. So anyways, yes, a purchase offer will have a deadline for the sellers to provide the disclosures and details. And of course, then the buyer has a certain number of days to get back to them. Here in California, it's 7 and 5. So the offer should also have details on the buyer's right to change their mind and back out based on the disclosures, right? Well, that is one of your buyer's contingencies, obviously. So, what is included? Well, seller disclosure requirements, as mentioned, vary depending on your state, but some of the common issues that they often include are leaks or roof problems. Again, with the weather that we've been having here and across the country, it's actually a good thing, right? Water always leaves signs, always. Previous flooding or water leaks in the basement. Insurance claims. Foundation cracks or defects. Issues with the air conditioning, heating, plumbing. Defects on the doors, floors, walls, and/or windows. Sewer and septic problems. That's always a good one. Infestations by wood-destroying insects or damage. Unsafe conditions related to asbestos, lead, or in some places radon. Okay, what about boundary disputes? those are all things that could come up. So federal requirements, while most disclosure guidelines are set at the state level, some are under federal level. And if you're selling a home built before 1978, you actually have to disclose that the paint may be lead-based. 1978 is the year lead-based paint was banned for consumer use. So what to look for in a disclosure? Well, if you're a buyer, you may feel a little overwhelmed by the seller disclosures because you're in paperwork overload, right? And emotions run high. But this is where a good agent can help you. So if you aren't sure about anything, don't be afraid to ask. One issue to watch for is mold or water damage. Okay, termite damage is another red flag. If termites aren't taken care of, it can significantly impact the home structure, and the home's policy often won't cover that damage. The last thing I want to talk about is caveat emptor. What does that mean? Well, it's Latin for let the buyer beware. In real estate, this means it's up to the buyer to be fully aware of any issues with the home. Hence, physical inspection. So if the disclosure laws in your state don't require the seller to mention something, you better figure it out on your own. So just ask. The only times that you would have recourse as a buyer is if the seller intentionally sought to defraud you. Okay. So that's, if they purposely left something out and it's obvious, then you might have some recourse. So in general, of course, it's up to the buyers to have a home inspected and follow up on those issues before the transaction finalizes. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found that information useful. Please come back next week. I want to give a shout out to Realty Times for all the information that they gave me that I can give to you. It says, please don't keep me secret. Share this with one person. You. Just share this with one person. Is that deal? Good. And if there's a topic that you'd like me to discuss in the future, just let me know. I'll get it on the calendar. I hope that you have a fantastic week. We still have some rain coming in, but have a fantastic week. Be kind to one another. Don't forget to live, laugh, and love. All right. And until we see each other again next week, when the next move matters, contact Drake for Homes. See you later.